been so gratifying. As you know, it's fun to go to work and have people applaud. When you exchange laughter, it feels, I'm going to start to cry.
Val Kilmer, the legendary Hollywood icon, left behind more than just a cinematic legacy. He left a fortune so staggering it brought his family to tears. I think it was more that I wasn't defending myself against stuff. You got to write something about somebody. I didn't really have an identity in Hollywood. But it wasn't just the numbers that shocked them. It was the heartfelt message behind his wealth that made this inheritance truly unforgettable. From blockbuster paychecks to hidden assets and priceless memorabilia, Kilmer's final gift was as dramatic as his greatest roles. Stay tuned as we uncover the emotional jaw-dropping truth behind his fortune. The loss of a Hollywood legend. The world has lost a cinematic icon. Val Kilmer, the charismatic and immensely talented actor who left an indelible mark on Hollywood, has passed away at the age of 65. His daughter Mercedes Kilmer confirmed the heartbreaking news to the New York Times, revealing that he died of pneumonia on April 1. Kilmer's passing comes after nearly a decade of battling throat cancer, a diagnosis he received in 2014. Though he eventually recovered, the disease took a heavy toll on his health, costing him his natural voice after undergoing a tracheotomy. Yet through it all, Kilmer remained a fighter, showing the world the strength of his spirit. His resilience was nothing short of remarkable. His love for acting, art, and storytelling never faded, even when his body challenged him. Few actors could command the screen like Val Kilmer. He had a rare ability to completely transform into his characters, making each role unforgettable. His breakthrough came in 1986 when he starred as the cocky yet skilled fighter pilot Iceman in Top Gun, a role that made him a household name. Almost a decade later, he took on the mantle of the Caped Crusader in Batman Forever in 1995, stepping into the legendary role with his signature intensity and charm. His career was full of standout performances. Whether portraying Jim Morrison in The Doors in 1991, the legendary gunfighter Doc Holliday in Tombstone in 1993, or delivering a haunting performance in The Saint in 1997, Kilmer always gave audiences something to remember. Even as his health declined, Kilmer refused to be forgotten. In 2022, he made a triumphant return in Top Gun Maverick, reprising his role as Iceman in a scene that left audiences in tears. His on-screen reunion with Tom Cruise was one of the most emotional moments of the film, as Kilmer, whose real-life struggles had mirrored his character's fate, gave a performance that was both powerful and deeply personal. Cruise later admitted in an interview that working with Kilmer again was overwhelming, saying that was pretty emotional. "I've known Val for decades, and for him to come back and play that character. He's such a powerful actor that he instantly became that character again." Kilmer's death marks the end of an era, but his legacy will never fade. His dedication to his craft, his perseverance through illness, and his ability to captivate audiences will continue to inspire generations of actors and movie lovers alike. He was more than just a star. He was a storyteller, a risk-taker, a man who refused to let challenges define him. Even in his final years, Kilmer found ways to connect with his fans, sharing his life, art, and reflections in his 2020 memoir I'm Your Huckleberry and in the acclaimed 2021 documentary Val. His story was one of triumph, hardship, and ultimately an unbreakable spirit. Though he is gone, Val Kilmer's legend lives on, forever etched in the hearts of those who watched him light up the screen. Val Kilmer has left behind a huge fortune for his children that makes them sober. Is the fortune inaccessible to them? Did he remove them from the list of his heirs? Or has he a secret family to whom he willed his fortune? Let's take a look into the relationship and family journey of Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer, known for his charismatic presence on screen, had a colorful and highly publicized love life over the years. His romantic relationships garnered as much attention as his career, with several notable figures in Hollywood linked to him. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Kilmer's dating history included some of the biggest names in entertainment. One of his earliest famous relationships was with the legendary pop star Cher. Their romance, which was highly talked about at the time, made headlines due to both their high-profile statuses. The pairing of Cher, the queen of pop, with Kilmer, a rising star in Hollywood, was a match that caught the attention of fans and the media alike. Their relationship didn't last, but it was part of a series of romances that Kilmer had with several other famous women in the following years. Kilmer also dated actress Leslie Ann Warren, known for her role in the classic musical Cinderella and many other films. The two were seen together at various events, and their brief but public relationship was the talk of Hollywood. Soon after, Kilmer was linked with supermodel and actress Cindy Crawford, a global sensation who was one of the most in-demand models of the 1990s. The pair's relationship was one of Kilmer's most widely covered, as Crawford was at the peak of her career and they were often spotted at parties and red carpet events. In the years that followed, Kilmer's love life continued to capture attention. He had a brief romance with actress Angelina Jolie, who was then a rising star in Hollywood. Jolie, known for her beauty and dramatic roles, and Kilmer, already an established actor, made an intriguing pair. They were frequently seen together and rumors of their relationship sparked interest among fans and gossip columns. Following Jolie, Kilmer dated actress Daryl Hannah, known for her roles in Splash and Kill Bill. Their relationship was brief, but it added another chapter to Kilmer's romantic history. Not long after, Kilmer found himself romantically involved with actress Ellen Barkin, a talented and striking star known for her roles in films like Sea of Love and The Big Easy. Their relationship, like the others, didn't last, but it added another layer of intrigue to Kilmer's already colorful dating history. However, amidst these high-profile romances, Kilmer's longest and most significant relationship was with actress Joanne Whalley. The two met while working together on the 1988 fantasy film Willow, where they shared not only a strong on-screen partnership but also a deep connection off-screen. They married in March 1988 and their relationship was one of the most celebrated in Hollywood at the time. Kilmer and Whalley's marriage lasted for 8 years, a significant period in the often turbulent world of celebrity marriages. During their time together, they had 2 children. Their first child, a daughter named Mercedes, was born in 1991, and their second, a son named Jack Kilmer, was born in 1995. Jack would later follow in his father's footsteps, pursuing a career in acting with his own notable roles in independent films. Sadly, Kilmer and Whalley's marriage ended in February 1996 after 8 years. The split was a difficult one for both, and they chose to part ways amicably, with Kilmer continuing to focus on his career while also being involved in his children's lives. Though their marriage came to an end, both remained dedicated to their children, ensuring they grew up with love and support. Kilmer's love life, filled with high-profile relationships, offers a glimpse into the complexity of balancing personal life and fame. While his romances were often under the spotlight, it was his marriage to Joanne Whalley and the family they built together that remains one of the most significant chapters in his personal story. Val Kilmer, the legendary actor, lived a life of fame before dying at 65. His talent was discovered at an early age, which makes many ask about his childhood. Let us delve into the details of his early life. A childhood shaped by art and adversity. On December 31, 1959, in the sunlit city of Los Angeles, California, a boy was born with a destiny far greater than anyone could have imagined. Val Edward Kilmer, the second of 3 brothers, entered a world of both beauty and turbulence, a world that would shape him into one of Hollywood's most enigmatic stars. Kilmer's early years were a mix of wonder and pain. Creativity flowed through him effortlessly, but his childhood was far from picture perfect. At just 9 years old, his world shifted dramatically when his parents divorced. The security of family life crumbled, leaving behind unanswered questions and a sense of loss. Yet instead of being consumed by sorrow, Kilmer sought refuge in something deeper: art, literature, and performance. He was not just a child who played pretend. He was a storyteller at heart. He spent endless hours devouring books, writing poetry, and immersing himself in the world of theater. It was not just about acting for him. It was about stepping into new realities, feeling emotions too complex for words, and bringing characters to life in a way that left people mesmerized. By the time Kilmer stepped into Chatsworth High School, his talent had already begun to bloom. It was not long before his performances caught the attention of both his teachers and peers. There was something electrifying about the way he commanded the stage, something that set him apart. Even in a school filled with future stars including Kevin Spacey and Mayor Winningham, Kilmer's presence was undeniable. His voice carried an intensity that could silence an entire auditorium. His movements were deliberate, each one telling a story. He did not just memorize lines. He lived them. Acting was not just a passion. It was his calling. But even as he dominated the high school stage, he knew this was only the beginning. There was more to learn, more to achieve. The world of theater was vast, and he was ready to conquer it. His ambition led him to one of the most prestigious institutions in the world, Juilliard. Admission into the Juilliard School is an honor reserved for only the most gifted performers. But Val Kilmer did more than just get accepted. He broke records. At just 17 years old, he became the youngest student ever admitted into Juilliard's drama division. Inside Juilliard's legendary halls, Kilmer refined his craft with relentless dedication. Every performance was a challenge, every lesson an opportunity to push himself further. He was no longer just an actor. He was an artist, sculpting his own future, determined to carve out a place for himself in the world of storytelling. But Kilmer's talent was not confined to the stage alone. He had a deep love for writing and poetry. And in 1983 he published My Eden After Burns, a poetry collection that revealed another side of his artistry, one of introspection, passion, and raw emotion. From a boy searching for meaning to a young man breaking barriers, Val Kilmer was no ordinary dreamer. He was an unstoppable force, driven by an unshakable belief in his craft. Hollywood was waiting. The world was watching. And Kilmer was ready to take his place among the stars. Let us take a dive into the details of his journey to Hollywood. From Broadway to Hollywood, the making of a star. Unlike many young actors who dream of fast fame and Hollywood stardom, Val Kilmer chose a different path, one of patience, dedication, and artistic growth. While others rushed toward the bright lights of Los Angeles, Kilmer took a more disciplined approach, refining his skills where true performers are made, on the Broadway stage. For Kilmer, every role, no matter how small, was an opportunity to learn. He did not see acting as merely a way to gain fame. He saw it as a craft that required serious training and experience. With each performance, he sharpened his abilities, proving himself in front of live audiences before ever stepping onto a film set. His time in the theater was an education in resilience, depth, and emotional expression, shaping him into the actor he would later become. While Kilmer's heart was in the theater, his first on-screen appearance was not in a groundbreaking film or a prestigious television drama. Instead, he made his debut in something much more unexpected, a chewing gum commercial for Trident. It was a humble beginning, far from the dazzling movie roles he would later secure, but it was a start. Though it may have seemed like an insignificant moment, it was a reminder that even Hollywood's biggest stars often begin with the simplest of roles. This small advertisement was the first step toward a career that would soon take flight, setting the stage for bigger and better opportunities. Kilmer's journey to the silver screen was not a meteoric rise but a steady climb. His early film roles were not groundbreaking, but they laid the foundation for his future success. In 1984 he landed a leading role in the comedy spoof Top Secret, where he played a rock and roll singer caught in a spy thriller. Though lighthearted and fun, the film showcased Kilmer's comedic timing and natural charisma, proving he could carry a movie with both charm and confidence. A year later in 1985, Kilmer took on another leading role in the cult classic Real Genius, where he played a rebellious but brilliant college student. The film combined humor with intellect, giving Kilmer a chance to demonstrate his wit, energy, and ability to bring depth to an otherwise comedic character. These early roles may not have been Oscar-worthy, but they were stepping stones, each one expanding his range and proving to Hollywood that he was more than just another aspiring actor. With every performance, Kilmer built a reputation as a versatile, talented artist who could bring life to any character he played. Though Kilmer's first few roles were in comedy, they were merely a prelude to something greater. Hollywood had taken notice of his talent, and soon the offers for more serious, high-profile films would start pouring in. His path had been unconventional. His rise had been gradual, but Val Kilmer was on the verge of something extraordinary. He wasn't just another actor in Hollywood. He was an artist with a unique journey, one that would lead him to roles that would define a generation. Let's dig into the details of Val Kilmer's golden era. The rise of an icon. The year 1986 marked a defining moment in Val Kilmer's career. With the release of Top Gun, he went from a promising young actor to a certified Hollywood star. His portrayal of Tom Iceman Kazansky, the cocky yet skilled rival to Tom Cruise's Maverick, was unforgettable. With his razor-sharp wit, effortless cool, and commanding presence, Kilmer delivered a performance that made him an instant fan favorite. Audiences were mesmerized by his charisma while critics praised his ability to bring depth to a seemingly straightforward role. But Top Gun wasn't just a hit. It was a cultural phenomenon. The film revolutionized action movies, turned Cruise into a superstar, and cemented Kilmer's status as one of Hollywood's elite. Suddenly everyone wanted a piece of him. Scripts flooded in, offers poured out, and the world expected him to settle into the role of the ultimate action hero. Instead of embracing the obvious path, Kilmer made an unexpected choice. He refused to be typecast. Rather than playing the same role over and over again, he reinvented himself with every film, proving that he was more than just a pretty face in a flight suit. In 1991 he took on one of his most daring transformations, Jim Morrison in The Doors. The role demanded more than just acting. It required becoming Morrison in every way. Kilmer not only studied Morrison's mannerisms, but he also sang all of the songs himself, delivering a performance so eerily authentic that even Morrison's former bandmates found it hard to distinguish his voice from the real thing. The film earned him critical acclaim, further solidifying his reputation as an actor who was willing to push boundaries. Then came 1995, a year that saw Kilmer reach new heights in Hollywood. First he landed the iconic role of Bruce Wayne Batman in Batman Forever, stepping into the shoes of one of the most coveted characters in film history. The role came with massive expectations and Kilmer delivered, bringing a mix of charm, intensity, and brooding depth to Gotham's caped crusader. That same year he starred in Heat, a gripping crime thriller featuring two of the greatest actors of all time, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Holding his own against these industry titans, Kilmer's performance as the cold and calculating right-hand man of De Niro's character proved that he was more than capable of standing alongside Hollywood's best. Kilmer's brilliance wasn't confined to the screen. Behind the scenes he was just as strategic and ambitious. He understood that Hollywood was more than just a place for acting. It was an industry where smart decisions shaped careers. Whether it was choosing diverse roles, taking control of his projects, or navigating the unpredictable nature of fame, he displayed a sharp business mind that set him apart. From his breakout as Iceman to his fearless portrayals of legendary figures, Kilmer's journey through Hollywood was anything but ordinary. He wasn't just a star. He was an artist, a risk-taker, and a force to be reckoned with. Being a strategist, his financial life was not limited to the confines of Hollywood unlike several other actors. Let's delve into Val Kilmer's financial life outside Hollywood. Beyond Hollywood, the financial genius of Val Kilmer. Unlike many Hollywood celebrities who burn through their fortunes as quickly as they earn them, Val Kilmer took a different path. He wasn't just an actor. He was a strategist, someone who understood the power of financial foresight. By the late 1990s, Kilmer had already made a staggering $40 million from his blockbuster film roles. With his talent and charisma cementing his place among Hollywood's elite, he could have easily indulged in an extravagant, carefree lifestyle. But Kilmer wasn't one to waste his hard-earned fortune. Instead, he made calculated financial moves that ensured his wealth would last far beyond his acting career. One of Kilmer's smartest investments was real estate. While others splurged on flashy mansions in Los Angeles, he set his sights on something grander and more meaningful. A 5,000-acre ranch in New Mexico. Worth an estimated $18 million, this vast property was more than just land. It was his sanctuary. Here, away from the chaos of Hollywood, Kilmer found peace and inspiration. The ranch wasn't just an investment in real estate. It was an investment in his soul. He would spend hours painting, writing, and reflecting on his life and career. In a world that constantly demanded more from him, this was where he could breathe, create, and simply be himself. As the years passed, Kilmer's health took a turn. The once powerful voice that made him iconic in films like Tombstone and Top Gun began to fade due to throat cancer. But true to his resilient nature, he didn't let this stop him from creating. When acting became more challenging, he turned to visual art and literature as new ways to express himself. His talent extended beyond the screen. His paintings and sculptures found their way into prestigious galleries, proving that his artistry wasn't confined to acting alone. Through every stroke of his brush and every sculpture he molded, Kilmer communicated emotions that words could no longer convey. His art became a reflection of his journey, capturing the highs and lows of a life lived in the spotlight. As he explored these new forms of expression, Kilmer also took on another deeply personal project, his memoir, I'm Your Huckleberry. The book was more than just a collection of memories. It was a raw, heartfelt look into his life, his triumphs, struggles, loves, and regrets. Fans who had only known him through his on-screen personas finally got to see the man behind the legend. His storytelling was honest, witty, and deeply reflective, offering a glimpse into the pain, resilience, and reinvention that defined his journey. The memoir became a bestseller, proving that his ability to captivate an audience went far beyond the silver screen. Even as life threw its challenges at him, Val Kilmer never stopped evolving. From a Hollywood superstar to a real estate investor, a painter, a writer, and a survivor, his journey is a testament to the power of reinvention. While his voice may have faded, his legacy remains louder than ever, etched in films, on canvases, in books, and in the hearts of those who admire his unwavering spirit. At a time in his life, Val Kilmer was hit with an ailment that changed his life till his death. Although he got healed, the effect of the ailment remained with him for 11 years till his last breath. Let's find out what happened to him. The battle that changed everything. In 2015, the life of celebrated actor Val Kilmer took a devastating and unexpected turn when he was diagnosed with throat cancer. This news stunned the world, especially given that Kilmer had built much of his career on his distinctive and powerful voice, a voice that had captivated audiences for decades. From his charismatic portrayal of Iceman in Top Gun to his memorable role as Batman, Kilmer's voice was a key part of what made his performances so unforgettable. However, the treatments that ultimately saved his life came at a heavy price. His cancer treatment robbed him of his ability to speak. This loss was nearly impossible to fathom for someone whose voice had once been his most defining trait. Despite this immense challenge, Kilmer refused to let cancer define him or stop his creative journey. Rather than surrendering to his circumstances, he made it his mission to find new ways to express himself and continue connecting with the world. Drawing strength from his passions for art, writing, and technology, Kilmer channeled his creativity into different outlets, refusing to let his diagnosis silence him. His spirit remained undiminished as he sought out innovative ways to stay engaged with the industry that had shaped his life. One of Kilmer's most groundbreaking achievements came through his use of advanced technology. As medical science progressed, so did the tools available to him. Kilmer turned to AI voice technology, which enabled him to reclaim a small part of what he had lost. In a stunning move, the technology allowed him to reprise his iconic role as Iceman in Top Gun: Maverick in 2022, a sequel to the film that had launched him into superstardom. Despite all the hardships he had faced, Kilmer's return to the screen was truly a miracle. The AI-assisted recreation of his voice allowed him to deliver a powerful and emotional performance that resonated deeply with fans who had grown up watching him in the original Top Gun. His return was not just a triumph of technology but also a testament to his relentless determination to keep his legacy and his voice alive. Despite the challenges of living with a life-altering illness, Kilmer's story was more than just one of battling cancer. It became an inspirational journey of resilience. His courage in the face of overwhelming obstacles was a performance in itself, showcasing a different type of strength. While he faced profound physical limitations, his ability to adapt and persevere in the face of adversity inspired millions around the world. His journey was not just about the roles he played on screen. It was about his capacity to continue creating, connecting, and sharing with others despite the dramatic changes in his life. Kilmer's story served as a powerful reminder that even when life throws unexpected challenges our way, the human spirit can find ways to rise above and thrive. Through his art, his innovative use of technology, and his unyielding refusal to let cancer take away his voice, Kilmer showed the world that true resilience is not defined by one's ability to avoid hardship but by the courage to continue moving forward despite it. His ability to inspire others even after his diagnosis has become one of the most remarkable and enduring legacies of his career. Val Kilmer left a legacy for his family and Hollywood. What kind of legacy did he leave? Let us delve into the details. A legacy that lives on. As of 2024, Val Kilmer's net worth is estimated at $25 million, a sum earned through his remarkable career in films, his art, and savvy investments. However, Kilmer's true legacy cannot be measured by financial figures alone. Instead, his lasting impact is etched into the hearts of his family, his fans, and the countless artists he inspired throughout his life. Kilmer's children, Mercedes and Jack, were without a doubt his prized possessions. They were his greatest supporters, especially through the challenges he faced during his battle with illness. These two young souls not only stood by him during difficult times but also inherited his passion for creativity. Their father's spirit and artistic drive live on in them as they now carry forward the legacy of his work. However, in a surprising and unconventional decision, Kilmer chose not to leave his cherished ranch in New Mexico to his family, a place that was dear to him and his children. Instead, he dedicated the property to something that was even closer to his heart, an art fund for young and emerging artists. Kilmer wanted his creativity to live on beyond his lifetime, and he felt that the best way to honor that was to invest in the future of the arts. The land would serve as a foundation to nurture the talents of future generations just as he had been nurtured in his own creative journey. Mercedes, his daughter, reflected on the decision with mixed emotions. She described it as both heartbreaking yet beautiful. The ranch was not just a piece of land. It held their most cherished memories, family moments, private reflections, and an overall sense of comfort and home. Still, despite the pain of losing such a special place, she came to understand and respect her father's wishes. His dedication to the artistic community was something that had always been close to his heart, and in his final act, he chose to give back to that world. For his son Jack, Kilmer's final gift was equally meaningful. He entrusted his son with the copyrights to some of his most iconic films, ensuring that his cinematic legacy would be preserved and honored. With this responsibility, Jack would oversee the management of his father's most well-known works, from the beloved role of Iceman in Top Gun to his unforgettable portrayal of Doc Holliday in Tombstone. This decision showed the depth of Kilmer's trust in his son's ability to carry on his creative vision and ensure that his films remained a part of the cultural fabric for years to come. Val Kilmer's life was marked by his dedication to his craft, his family, and the world of artistic expression. Though his net worth is a notable figure, it is the legacy of creativity, inspiration, and love that truly defines him. The choices he made in his final years reveal a man deeply connected to the artistic community and driven by a desire to share his gifts with the world. Through his children, his ranch, and the young artists who will benefit from his vision, Kilmer's legacy will live on not just in the figures of his wealth but in the enduring influence he had on art, film, and the people who were fortunate enough to be touched by his work. What do you think about Val Kilmer's life, family, and fortune? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do not forget to like and subscribe.